Hey everybody, my name is Keisha and welcome to my channel, Saving Greens Homestead. You guys, it is so hot today that I had to put on my hat, try and protect myself. We've been having 90-degree days, and so I just wanted to come out here in the cool, well, it's not really that cool, but it's cooler than what it was earlier of the evening. Okay, so you guys, one thing that I wanted to work on this season was to try and maximize and utilize all the available space that I have in my garden. So usually what I do is I have all my trees here, as you can see, have all my trees here, and usually that's what I have in my containers are my trees. And well, whatever weeds decide to grow up in those containers as well. So I think it was a couple of seasons ago, I was growing some tomatoes and I used some homegrown or homemade compost, and that compost had some seeds in it, and so those seeds developed and they were melon seeds. One was a watermelon and the other one was like a cantaloupe seed, and so they grew inside the container with the tomato. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, that's a very good use of space. But then last year I didn't do anything like that. And this year I said, you know, I need to utilize more space. And what better way to do it? I've got all these big containers that my trees are sitting in. So what I did this year is I planted my melons, all of my melons, at the base of my trees. I mean, it's gonna grow weeds anyways, and this one you can see. Let me get this cat out the way. Look it. He's just always right under me. Move yourself, kitty. Go on. Go do something. Look it. And then he gets mad at me when I accidentally step on his tail or something, but he's like right under my feet. Anyway, so as you can see, like in this container here, there's grass growing out of there. There's usually some kind of weeds growing, and I try and keep the weeds from growing, but I mean, it's inescapable. Weeds grow. Wherever there's space, they fill in. So I figure, why not plant some melons? So I did. I planted melons in here, and these ones already started. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go around, and the weaker of the two, because I planted 2 seeds in each spot, then I'll just snip those so that only one would be left there to grow in that space. So like with these 2, I'm gonna snip one and take it out, and that way with me snipping it, it won't disturb the roots too much. But I wanted to show you guys this one. This is that new apple Arkansas black apple tree that I just purchased a couple of months ago, and I put some melon starts that I had in here, and they took off. And look, I got flowers on there already, and they're doing good. Look at this one, is already going up on the other side here. And so what it'll probably do is they may attach and climb up the tree, which is fine. You know, they're small enough that they can be trellised, or they may just sprawl on the ground, which is fine because we don't really do much around over here, so it'd be fine. So that's one of the things I wanted to share with you and show you, that this season you will see a lot of examples of me just utilizing space, whatever space I have, to just plug in a seed or a plant here and there, so that I can maximize the usage of what I have available to me. Another thing that I'm excited about to share with you is not only am I maximizing my space by using some of my empty space around the base of my trees and the containers and stuff, but also you may have seen this done, and I don't have an example right this second of it yet, but off into that bed across the way there, you'll see some sunflowers standing up there. One year I had some sunflowers grow And I had planted some cucumber to grow up on the trellis, and the cucumber instead grew up the sunflowers. And so I was like, oh, so you know, the sunflowers that I grow are big and they can be used as living trellises. So I know that's not a shock to a lot of people. I know a lot of people have done this very thing. So I intend on, and I've already planted seed, they just haven't popped up yet, using all my sunflowers to grow my beans. Some people do that with corn, like with the Three Sisters type thing, where they grow a climbing bean up the corn. And it makes sense because they can both benefit, and it saves you space so that you can use other space for other things, to grow other things. So, but yeah, I'm going to be growing cucumber and beans up my sunflowers. Here's an up close view of what I have going on with these sunflowers. You can see the bean plant right here that I planted. And then also I planted them all around these sunflowers. These are a little bit bigger now, but they're still not yet to the point where they're climbing. So, but the point of it is for me to maximize my space and use those sunflowers as a living trellis for my beans. And then also I'm going to plant some cucumbers and beans that will also climb up some sunflowers, not necessarily these, but other sunflowers that I'm planting in other beds and in my front yard. So yeah, I'm excited about that because now I can maximize my growing space. I have a few other things I want to show you. Okay, so the seeds haven't come up yet, but I planted some seeds under my peach tree here. So I can use this as a trellis as well, a living trellis. I don't know if you guys remember last year, I had a volunteer wax melon grow. It popped up and just started growing. A branch of it grew up this tree. Another branch of it grew up this tree, peach tree here. That just gave me the bright idea, well, it thrived and did well, so why not plant stuff under my peach trees and utilize that space since I have it available, and use my peach trees as a living trellis. So that's what I'm attempting to do. I think I planted butternut squash under this one, and under this one I think I planted some Armenian long cucumber. So we'll see if it pops up. And then over here, as a way to maximize my space usage, I have planted, now some of you more seasoned gardeners will recognize this plant. This is a blackberry plant here, and I planted some watermelon in there. Now I don't even know if that's gonna work good or not. Blackberries generally like more acidic soil, and I don't know if that's something that watermelon like, but you know, I'm willing to try it. I'm doing all of this not because I need the space or because I have a lack of space, because I have a lot of space, a lot of growing space that I'm not even using, like that bed on the far against the fence there. I'm not even using that bed this year because I'm trying to kill off some grass and cattails that's growing in that bed. But I'm doing this so that if you are living in like an apartment or you have just a small backyard, then you can see ways that you can maximize your space, and that you don't need a whole bunch of elaborate things to use for trellising. You can just use sunflowers or corn or, you know, anything that grows tall. I'm just trying new things out, just experimenting and see what happens. So in this container now, I have planted, I forgot that there was this canna lily plant was in here, or tiger lily plant was in here. and because it was dormant, I forgot that it was in here. And so I planted eggplant. You can see it right there. I planted an eggplant in there, and well, I don't know what's gonna happen. I figure I'll just leave it and see what happens with it, because it's kind of late for me to try and pull it out now. But I am gonna plant some more of that particular eggplant seeds in another container so that I'll have extra in case this one doesn't do well. And this one I planted melons in as well in my potato container. I got potatoes growing in here, so we'll see how well that turns out. And then I had these red chard volunteer in this container, so I decided to just leave them and see what happens. And they're doing pretty good. This is in with my lemon, so I am just gonna leave it for now and just see what happens with this tree and how far this plant will grow. So you guys, I just wanted to bring this to you real quick and just show you how I'm utilizing and maximizing, I should say, the space that I have here in my containers this season. So you guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know if this is something that you do. Up to how many different plants are you able to grow in a big container or even in a 5-gallon container? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, God bless.